I guess this is as far as we're going. Well, that's the end of the line, I think. I just sort of walked up around the bank there, but really can't see anywhere that I could really camp comfortably anyway. I was sort of hoping to get another K maybe. I think there's a sandbank up there a bit further, but there's a rapid just round the corner. I'd be skull dragging for a fair while and the kite's quite heavy, so I think we're just going to have to head back down the river. I did take a note of 2 spots that I could camp if I was desperate, but certainly there's nothing better here, so I think I'll relaunch and head back down. But I was sort of hoping to get to camp about now, so yeah. But anyway, we'll head back down and see where we end up. But it's a bloody lovely spot, isn't it? It's a shame there's just not a little bank. There's a sandbank up around the corner there, but not quite enough to stretch out on and sleep on tonight, so yeah. Anyway, so be it. We'll keep moving and see where we end up. We'll head back down, eh? That's disappointing, but never mind. At least we know for next time. Lovely, lovely bit of water. And nice just to pull up on the bank here somewhere, but there's just nowhere to set up a tent or even just stretch out on your fly. You can see the water has dropped a lot in the last week or two, so there will be a few Aussies around, unfortunately. This will do us, I think. First things first, my precious, the beer. Yeah, g'day guys, Steve here from Outdoors on Water. On the upper reaches of the Blue Rock Dam. Didn't know how far I was going to get today, and I didn't get as far as I would have liked. There's a sandbar up there that we've camped on before, coming down the Tangell River, but I wasn't able to get that far without a lot of skull dragging of kayaks across rocks, so I ended up just turning round where I hit the first rapid, and I just sort of eased my way back down here, just looking for a flat spot to set up. This is the best I could find. It's not the best campsite I've ever had, not the worst though, I can tell you either too. A fair few bloody horseflies and march flies around. Hopefully there's not too many mozzies, touch wood. But not too bad. River's just down there. Well, the Greater Blue Rock Lake. Start of the river's just up there, about another K, so yeah. Yeah, as I say, not the worst camping I've ever done, but there was a spot up there that already had campers on it, which was a bit of a shame, but that would have been good. But never mind. We're doing an overnighter, so we've got all luxuries. We've got cold beers, pickies and dip, and a sirloin steak for tea, so all mod cons. the worst camp spot I've ever had, but not the best. On the bend of a river here. Well, probably the Greater Lake, Blue Rock Lake, so to speak. So yeah, just having a couple of quiet beers, but thought I might get the fishing rod going. It's getting to that time of the day, so I thought I'll just get the fishing rod and rig it up, and I'll flick a few lures out there. Haven't heard any fish flopping yet, and I haven't seen anything rising, but it's a fairly deep ledge over there, so I'll get something I can sort of flick out to there and just get over the other side, particularly over there, quite a steep face. There'll be some bass sitting down in there in the deep water. It's been a pretty hot day. So I'll be sitting low, I think. This is the best I could do. And I fair hooked him. Best I could do. Little bass. There you go, buddy. Well, that was an interesting night, that's for sure. Absolutely got smashed by mozzies and horseflies, or big march flies, so I was getting bitten flat out. I sort of thought that was going to happen. If you look over there, you'll see the line of the water's dropped a lot, and there'd be a lot of little pools of water everywhere, and hot weather, and the mozzies would have bred up over the last week, sort of thing. If this was had been flooded, this would all be a lovely sandbank here, but it's the water's been down for well over a year now, so you can see all the wattle and the bloody rushes and everything growing up. But I have seen people camping here before, and there's obviously been a fire there when it's quite an open bank, but yeah, it's not the case at the moment. Caught a couple of little fish this morning, but nothing much to worry about. But yeah, not the best camping I've done, that's for sure. These are the first thing that grow, these bloody wattles, bloody feral things. They don't make good firewood, they're good for nothing. Yeah, but anyway, there's a few fish flopping about, but sort of mainly the juveniles again up. It seems to be that just the juveniles come up the upper reaches of the dam here. Last time I was up a bit further up there. We were just catching juvenile bass, and that's what I caught this morning. So yeah, you can see the fish just moving on the water there, just coming up and lipping the bugs off the surface. And they've certainly been a bit feisty this morning, but again in the shallows, chasing some sort of little things, and yeah, just all the juvenile fish, I think. Yeah, but anyway, we'll get going. As I say, not the best camping I've done ever, but had a couple of beers, didn't bother with the fire, it was too hot. It was quite humid here last night, and got a few drops of rain, so I got up and put the bloody fly on, which was a nuisance. But anyway, we'll keep moving. I'll pedal back down to the boat ramp and see if I can get someone to pick me up.